What's up, everybody? Hey, hey, Amanda. I'm gonna keep calling you out because you don't like the attention. How about that? Thank y'all for coming. Welcome to Malvern Books. I'm saying it like it's mine, but it's totally not. It is run by some pretty awesome people who let us have this reading here. So, how y'all feeling tonight, by the way? Under one roof. Y'all can make noise. I know we're in a bookstore and it's sort of like a library and you gotta be quiet, but you know, fuck it. I'm gonna be yelling at you guys. You guys can make some noise, right? I'm being upfront. This is the terms of was it user terms of service agreement? Is that what it's called? This is the part where it's like you will see some neck veins, possibly some spit may fly here, which is fine that these are vacant. We forgot to bring the ponchos. That's totally cool. But yeah, thank y'all for coming again. So yeah, give it up for yourselves real quick. Let's get the energy going. Give it up for Malvern Books for having us. I'm just going to start reading poems, and we're going to feel out and do this. But yeah, my name's Kevin Burke, by the way. I totally forgot to introduce myself.
Hi, Kevin. Hi, Kevin.
I mean, you should know who I am. No, my name's Kevin Burke. I'm starting to show off wonderfully right now. Not awkward at all. But yes, I run Timber Mouse Publishing. We're a small publishing company here, based here in Austin. Our authors are from all over. We have an author from Ohio in the house. From the faraway land of Oklahoma is here too. So I've heard of that place. It's very exotic this time of year. We also have another author who, the book is not out yet, but he's from New Hampshire. I'm very excited about that book as well. But yeah, I'll talk more about that. We're just going to jump right into doing poems. And yeah, so this is sort of a new one. And we're going to go with that. And they said, I just don't get it. That I'm a Yankee devil in God's country who likes hitting below the Bible Belt. That he don't get good Southern humor. That a boy from Chicago don't belong here, or in the White House for that matter. That there must be something wrong when I don't laugh as a good Southern comic who's probably never listened to a full hip-hop album reduces the art form to a violent, racist caricature, conveniently forgetting that God-loving Johnny Cash said, I took a shot of cocaine and shot my woman down. That I must be crazy when I don't agree that Donald Trump is saying what's on a lot of people's minds. That I don't understand the South. That I don't understand their South. That I don't understand how ignorance and simplicity are held up as virtues, and how people fearfully load their John Waynes in the face of tomorrow, wishing for Dixie, then cocking their dicks and whistling. This is not the South that got me to stay. This is not the welcoming arms of strangers who will become my family. This is not my South. My South sweet tea wouldn't rot out the frostbite from my teeth. My South won't let my birth city's big shoulders shut up. I will use their strength to hold up what I know to be true about my South. My South city of powdered sugar and voodoo was gargled up and spit back out by the ocean, then got back up and still blew its brass brightly. My South communities lock arms and hearts and dig in against overwhelming geography and time. I moved to a place where after all of this time, people still resist, persist, and pull down flags from capitals in the face of centuries of state-backed bigotry. Head check. Even if the Confederate flag is just about heritage. The swastika is a Tibetan symbol for good luck, but some racist assholes went and ruined that too. Tough shit, get over it. Quit acting like overdue fair treatment is oppressing you when you've been sitting on a privileged booster seat, you children. What do I know about the South? I know that art here is more than art. It's fucking necessary for survival, and its beauty is like its flowers, brilliant, thorn, and drought hardened for survival. I know the word y'all is efficient, y'all. I know the food here will make you a believer, so praise be to smoked meats. Praise be to anything involving tortillas. In the name of biscuits, gravy, and the holy grits, hallelujah. Motherfucker, you were born here. I came here by choice. Don't tell me that I don't understand what I've learned to love. Don't tell me that I don't understand a place that I now call home or the people I call family. There's a warmth here that sticks long after the sun goes down. I've come to recognize it in the summer-strung Christmas lights in my friends' eyes. Learn to wear it well. I got a straw hat for the sun now. 2 belt buckles down here.
Hey.
This is the South that I live in. I'd love to see you try and come and take it. Thank you. I get intense, so you didn't know what you were in store for. It's a lot of this. But yeah, any energy that you guys have, feed it right back. I welcome it. I'm used to, most of the other readers can agree too, we're all used to doing this in bars, where people are half in the bag and really rowdy when you get up there and take a breath in before you even start. So yes, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna keep this thing going. This next poem is also sort of about Texas. It was actually recently published, total shameless plug here, in a quarterly journal called Into Quarterly. It's really cool. They basically take a different city and get artists from that city to do. They have poetry, prose, photography, graphic art, all kinds of stuff in there, and they release it every quarter. I think next they're doing either Brooklyn or somewhere in North Carolina. Or Kentucky, I don't know, one of the two, it all blends. But yeah, so this showed up in that, and yeah. I'm using the word studio in very loose terms, I said to her as we climbed the squealing stairs to where Jared was seated at the boards. Laura normally gets paid to sing, but today generosity and excitement trumped cash. Our space was the upstairs of a little rundown house on Richardson Lane. It was rundown as in rundown from the cops and cut your leg open on the fence and the runaway type of rundown. The power was out downstairs, and a single rattling window unit was the only thing keeping the recording room on the top floor from lighting up like a torch. After all, it was Texas. The heat is oppressive here. 10,000 choirs of blow dryers seared the air outside while the sun slouched in his throne, a lazy tyrant intent on moving only when he absolutely had to. The three of us were sweat, spit, and flaking finish on wood floors. I'd have sworn the pleather couch was sweating too with the way the light slumped into the soft cushions. We listened to the song, we talked through ideas, but I couldn't help the near rhythmic adjusting of my underwear. It was either riding up because of the perspiration of my legs, or it was curling up in my shorts the same way a leaf does when it's on fire. Unfortunately, for the sake of sound, the AC unit had to be turned off while recording. We finished talking, and the rattle of the window gave way to the barely audible cicadas panting outside. Laura stood and slipped her sandals off. Her copper-colored toes curled for a moment and stretched, trying to catch a breeze in the stagnant air. The track rolled, she inhaled. What I do know is when her breath poured from her throat, the sun was overthrown. The floor fell from below our feet and the walls were pulled down like statues of dictators. We were washed in amber and glow. It didn't matter that pieces of headphone cushion would be stuck to our ears when we cut and went home. It didn't matter that I was sitting in a puddle. Even the cicadas shut the fuck up. We found relief. We made release. We raised holy over hellish heat. Thank you. Thank you for applauding my public littering. That is so
really cool when you do it.
doing. So yeah, what's nice about reading in situations like this, so as you noticed, as I was saying, we generally, the poets on my press and myself, we talk loud, sometimes fast, very passionately and whatnot. And that kind of goes along with spoken word, not always, but it's one of the tropes that goes with it. What's fun about readings like this, and what's fun about publishing books, is you get to see the other side of the poet. You get to see the poets outside of the competitive space, to where they're not, basically doing what they're doing to try and get points to move on in the competition or whatever else. You get to kind of open up the book, hang out with them, see the wide variety and really a breadth of their work. And what's kind of fun about doing things like this, we get to slow down and all that too. And with that in mind, I'm going to slow it down here. Oh. Cue the lights anytime you're ready. He said to no one. So yeah, we're gonna read a little bit slower poem. So I read somewhere that gravity affects time. That the farther from Earth's pole, the faster that time moves, and the closer to the gravitational pole, the slower that time moves. It's called gravitational dilation. Google it. You said, I can't wait to build a life with you, so I said okay. We gathered up our things and walked to the tallest mountain. Our fingers interlocked and our palms folded into paper airplanes that drifted us to the top of the highest peak of the highest mountain. Along the way up, our feet kissed the crowns of trees and made them bloom into bells, bloom a roof, bloom all 9 yards of rain and light until our toes touched the top of the mountain, and we lived our life together as fast as avalanche, as fast as rushing wind at the peak. But it was cold there. Cold with all that wind and time rushing away. There was no time to wait, no time to warm. You said, I want to hold a moment with you as long as we can, so I said okay. We gathered up our things and held each other tight. Our paper airplanes unfolded and our arms fashioned a sled. We slicked down the other side of the mountain together. We came to rest in soft black dirt, garden. Our held hands pressed together as if to pray, folded into a shovel spade. Together we dug. Along the way we ate the beets and roots that you had planted, and together we dug. As the heat grew, we gave each other the cold breeze we remembered from the mountain, and together we dug until our shovel struck the core and rang it like a bell. We found the door inside. We carried one another across the threshold. Inside, the ringing stopped. The heat became warmth, and it was still. Time slowed to a whispered hum. Our shovel unfolded into hands. Our bodies folded into each other's bodies. Finally still, finally warm, finally able to hold this. You said, I want to hold you like this. So I said, okay. Fucking sap. All right, let's totally change directions and talk about things in Ireland. So one of the things I do with my writing, I really love music quite a bit, and it definitely influences my life, influences my work, and all of that. Does anybody know who the hell Shane McGowan is, aside from me? And one person? I see nodding in the back, two people. Is this an of course? Is that what that was? Okay, of course. Perfect. So 3 of you will understand this. No, but really this, just to give you a brief kind of whatever this is, it's about Shane McGowan. I think he's a very interesting, tragic figure, and kind of my own take on why he is the way he is, and I touch on some Irish history. So if you know your Irish history, you're in for a treat. All 3 of you who maybe know. But anyway, it's not that your teeth rotted from your head. It wasn't erosion or decay. It's just that they got in the way. Your words had to kick them out like pub windows. Your gums just slowed you down like mud on your boots that had to be stomped and scraped off. Shane, your mouth is a whiskey barrel of a gun, loaded drunk. Your voice a slurred solace dragged from the masonry, giving this rot such sweet smells. If I should fall from the grace with God where no doctor can relieve me, buried beneath the sod where the angels won't receive me. In the 1970s and 80s, the violence of what the Irish in true form referred to as the Troubles peaked. Our time will come and get out concussed cobbled streets, and choirs of hunger struck prison walls to death. In a time when to be called Irish was bloody, spit-soaked, and hated, a group of kids, fueled by the Celtic urge to self-destruct, had the audacity to sing for Erin, to sing for Ireland. Shane, you had the audacity to swallow up all of her black and blue and emerald hurt into your mouth, to grind reels, to chomp hornpipes and chew up jigs, then puke it all back out into red roses, sucker punch enamel to the pulp, crack crowns, and toss pieces into the throne, smiling toothless. You played loud, you played fast, and rocked the walls of pubs in London with something other than bombs. You spewed Irish stump guts dance music, joyful defiance that bypassed intellect, tossed brains on their asses and hit hearts in the throat. This land was always ours, was the proud land of our fathers, belongs to us and them, not to any of the others. At the helm of the Pogues, you all fell around the world. It's incredible the beauty that swaggered from such a shambling wreck. You showed the continent your contents, throwing up bottles and blood into the crowd. But they didn't understand it, Shane. The rest of the world didn't get it. They still don't. They know green beer and fucking Bennigan's. They know shamrocks and shillelaghs. They're still taken with the Clancy brothers' clean white sweaters and clean white music, not empty bottles and Belfast, not the pieces scattered at the peace-lined walls. How can they know the way that you prayed with hands balled, gripping a microphone like a rosary that's gone cold? Your mouth open for every swig of sadness, trying to fill the holes in a history that still stains our spirits. The way you said amen, spitting your teeth into the air like bricks while your throat rattled like riot shields. It's not that the whiskey left you blue-skinned and wet-brained, clutching a mic stand to stay standing. It's the scarred and cratered road you took from 1609 to now, chasing ghosts to the alehouse, and fumbling for eternity. If I should fall from the grace of God where no doctor can relieve me, buried beneath the sod where the angels won't receive me, let me go, boys, let me go, boys. Let me go down in the mud where the rivers all run dry. Snuck it in there. All right. I got two more. We're gonna play a little game here. Do you want to hear the brand new one first, or the quieter one first?
The better one first.
So read them simultaneously. What would that sound like? Whatever. Okay, we'll finish on a bang here. Read another kind of quiet one. Yeah, this is just not even gonna explain it. I'm just gonna stop talking. Also, I'm just reading the poem. By the way, this podium is awesome. I was just thinking that and felt like sharing. I've never read with a podium before, but I feel like I'm in a college right now, and like, you know, I could say things and then I'd like quiz you on it later and be like, you didn't put that in your term paper, and then I'd put on my sport coat with the pads on the elbows and grab my pipe. Nobody else? All right. By the way, thank you all so much for just like putting up with this. You guys are really great. Again, give yourselves a hand. This is, I'm gonna go right to these last two poems and get the hell out of here. Thank you for the sun. Thank you for the blinds. Thank you for the crack in the blinds. Thank you for these eyes. Thank you for the morning in these eyes, for waking up, for yawns, stretches, creaks and cracks, for first breaths. Thank you for firsts, that disguise themselves as beginnings after an end. Thank you for the ends and what's left but rebar. Thank you for what's behind me, for what's in front of me. Thank you for jeans, for boots. Thank you for miles and miles and tires and miles and smiles. Thank you for teeth, these tuning forks for forgiveness. Thank you for ears, for forgetting the shape of tone deaf in my mouth and the sound of skin on my tongue. Thank you for my tongue, for voice, for taste. Thank you for food, obviously. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for friends, for family, for hands. Thank you for work and worry and cops and suits and force and ravishment and broken trust and the bastards who made me what I am, the fans for my flames, the sides for my thorns. Thank you for weary, for better days, for a home, for pride and action and sweat, for smooth knots, cradled crepitus, and holding on. Thank you for pillows, for sheets, and comforters in their palms, for the crack in the blinds, for night, for sleep, for the time until the sun. Thank you for not doing it when I could have, when I wanted to, when it filled the windshield. I still can, still hear it sometimes, but thank you for not, and instead turning around and thanking the sun. Thank you for the sun. Thank you for the sun. One more. This one's a little topical. It's a little political, a boogity boogity. Oh man, I hope y'all are having fun. I'm having a good time up here. Yeah, we're just gonna go into this. This is a neck veiny one, but we're gonna finish on a bang. And this is like brand new. I've only read it like one other time, and somehow made it through without like tripping over my words. So you know, fingers crossed that happens again.
Now you done mess it up.
So money, right?
Right.
As long as people were making it, we're good, right? As long as the people in charge are making it, we all win, right? Because it trickles down, right? Like a pyramid of champagne glasses, right? Shit, it must be. It must be like that because you drink champagne when you celebrate, right? And we're gonna be rich, so let's celebrate, right? I mean, there's no incentive for the glass at the top to make itself bigger, right? Like one gigantic champagne glass, like a kiddie pool on a stem, right? Like it keeps getting bigger and bigger, and no champagne comes down to the smaller champagne glasses that make up the vast majority of the pyramid, right? No, that'd be ridiculous, y'all. That'd be ridiculous. Why would the big champagne glass do that? Then the rest of us couldn't celebrate all the money we're gonna make, right? Because we've been told we're gonna get that champagne. Never mind that the weight of the gigantic champagne glass full of champagne at the top will put so much pressure on the other champagne glasses that we couldn't even move out of the pyramid if we wanted to, right? Because we're gonna get some of that champagne, right? It's not like the big glass on top could get any bigger. No, because even if it does, we'll just get more champagne, right? Because this whole setup, this whole pyramid is the only way we're gonna get some champagne, right? That's what the folks with the big glass at the top say, and they gotta know. Look at that glass. It's so big. So let's open up more champagne here. This one's huge. Vintage oil champagne. There's so much fucking champagne in here. Who cares if we get too drunk and drill too many holes in our liver, right? Forget those other smaller bottles. There's no way that the sun or wind could ever keep up with this much fracking champagne. Why even bother, right? Or how about this one? Pop the precision-guided cork up the bottle of military champagne. Look at all the champagne. Blood might be thick in the water, but don't worry about the stains. You can wash those out with champagne. We should buy more of these bottles, right? Look how much champagne is in the big glass at the top now. There's so much. We're all gonna get some now, right? Those glasses at the bottom that are still empty, they're just not trying hard enough, right? They're just lazy or made of glass or plastic or something with less integrity. Whatever it is, it's different and scary. Not like the crystal glass at the top. Why can't they just be like the glass at the top? That's what we're all trying to do, right? We just gotta make ourselves out of crystal, right? It's not like the massive vat of champagne at the top is so heavy that it uses its weight to hold down the glasses at the bottom in place, right? Any other way would be a terrifying idea. The big glass at the top is afraid of any other ideas, and they have such a big glass of so much champagne that they must be right? So there's nothing wrong with being scared and killing or locking up anyone who disagrees, right? And we should celebrate getting rid of those scary, different small glasses. Unscrew this bottle of prison industrial champagne. There it is. The more we're afraid and the more we put behind bars, the more we build to kill and spill, the more champagne there is, right? So celebrate, drink up. We're gonna be rich. We're gonna be rich. Every one of us rich. Cheers. Thanks, y'all. Gonna leave that there.